Alright guys, I had to make a part 2 of this. This is my take 2. I just accidentally deleted my first take on this video, which I wish I didn't do that. You know, one of the huge lifestyle has changed, especially towards to either a husband or wife or girlfriend or a de facto relationship, who's going to earn better in this outcome. And when they do this sort of stuff with the outcome, who's going to earn better? So who's going to change the parenting role? Or both of them lost their job because of their job is being postponed by the government restriction with the pandemic. Or perhaps their job industry, there's not much work. Or perhaps their industry has offshored. Or perhaps their job was simply not enough demand because of this new outcome. Now, it's either the parenting has to change their roles from being two breadwinners or being one breadwinner to raise the child, or homeschooling. Homeschooling is like one of the most difficult tasks for many parents out there. It's like a new challenge where the child has been brought up in the household at the beginning on being perhaps like you didn't put much guideline rules, and the house was designed to have maybe one study room for the child, but perhaps kids are always been restricted, had a guideline since day one when they study, when they go to school, from kindergarten to all the way to whatever high school or whatever it is. They learn from their peers and they have the guideline from the parents, and parents are, teachers are good, using a lot of good tactics on how to dismantle or disarm a naughty child, or they have, they're trained to do that, and that's their profession. But when they are doing homeschooling and doing like online learning, it makes them more technological addiction. Now, of course, university and high school, they are a lot more with the laptop, but now it's uncontrollable, where kids can go even more insane with the laptop, or perhaps with the tablets, and lying to the parents or not listening to the parents regardless of what are they trying to do. And there's maybe a lot of homeworks hasn't been done because of the hours that they're being killed by that many YouTube videos, or perhaps X, Y, and Z, or Netflix or whatever. So it's hard to control for parents to go through that, and parents having a hard time to control their children as well. So that one aspect is going to be very, very difficult. Another aspect is, it's either a mother or the father playing a huge role of, they used to be like, they chuck the kids to childcare after school care. But now it's not the option, where you have this pandemic going on. There's no childcare. But even if there's a childcare going on, there you have to pay for childcare fees to look after your kids, right? You don't have that much money as what you used to have. Maybe work has reduced and things like that. And finding a job nowadays is not as what it used to be. Those who are working in the industry for many years and got out or lost their job, or perhaps finding a new career, is a very challenging time, where there's new technology and new ways of doing the interview. Many people will find a learning curve to update their resumes and the cover letter, which is great, and also those interview questions, and perhaps trying to get familiar or understand how it works from Microsoft Teams or Zoom calls or etc., Skype or whatever. And also the online intranet portal from the company, what they wanted you to do. And perhaps you have to go through literacy, numeracy tests, faced with the webcam. Many people doesn't have webcam. Many people those who has a phone, but you can't do a phone while you're having doing your quizzes, right? Because the interviewer panel or the HR, whoever the hire recruiter, has to see you're not cheating as well. And as well, one of the major concern on doing the online interview is poor lighting. So you may have poor webcam or poor microphone and poor lighting. So that's another aspect that you have to look into. Another one is, like those who are shifted to another industry, many of them who does not want to downgrade their job position or the salary position. All right, they used to earn 80K and now they're earning less than that, maybe 50% less than that, or 70% less than that, or whatever how it is, or changing into a different industry where they used to earn 80K. Let's just say they earn 80K and they work down to the supermarket role, or other roles are high demand right now, and they're not earning as much as that. But many of these people will find that those who downgraded, who find it, they are less motivated, lack of motivation as what they used to be. They used to earn 80K, they're working, hustling even harder, but over 40K, they probably will ask even early for pay rise from their bosses, or perhaps this getting this interest easily. So you got that as well, but also the lifestyle hasn't been changed, where back then, you have the lifestyle, maybe you live in a good suburb, or you're taking your kids to a private school, or perhaps you have insurance on you, or perhaps you have X, Y, and Z. So you have, there's a lot of expenditures for them to have to pay out. And, having a downgraded their job may not be appealing, but they have to bring food to the table for the kids and the family to feed on. And when you go through that, it's a hard thing to go through. And another one is they're not willing to take up the job position that is lower than what their expectation is. So if they usually earn 60K and they got a job offer 40 or 50K, they won't accept the job because their title is I worth 80K or 60K, and I'm not gonna go below. It's either same or above. Now, the problem with that, and when I have this experience when I was unemployed and working for the dole and contribute my time to the charity op shops. I remember there was two fellas out there. They were smart, intelligent, who used to work in the IT, and they're saying that they earned 80K. And you know what? The problem is that they got offered for 60K or 50K or whatever it is. They won't take on that money because they believe that the salary is still 80K. Now the problem for them is not accepting is they're waiting for the good time. But time has changed. It's a lot more competitive with the job market. The longer you're going to drag, the longer it's going to harm your resume, because your resume can't leave some blank space, in life. That's about it. So you have that at the same time, but also these challenging times has weakened people up, staying at home. And, one of the major things about with the coronavirus staying at home, there's two outcomes with families or a relationship. Is either high divorce rate or making babies because they're spending more time with each other, whether they hate each other or whether they love each other, or whether they can't handle this isolation inside their house. They can't go out to go shopping. And currently, where I am in Victoria, in Melbourne, in Australia, we in phase 4. We can't go out. We only have 1 hour of our leisure recreation time to go out. Other than that, we only can shopping within or do anything within the 5K radius. Now, that limits a lot of stuff, and many of them drives insane in the home 24/7. Or having the wife nagging on them, or the husband nagging on them, and the kids nagging on them, and it just drives them crazy. There's no escape route or self-care or going to the gym or going to the swimming pool or anything out there visiting their friends. They do not have that sort of option. So when you have that creates a lot of problem. So many of them will that's why I say it's either a home nation or work nation, right? And they believe on, maybe if they don't accept the 60K job, they weigh it out and work for the dole or receiving the government paycheck because maybe they believe they're working too hard for a long time and they deserve to them it's like a long service leave as well. The government pay them out, things like that for paid checks. That's how they think. And when they have like that sort of mentality, it weakens their mind. And the job market out there, you got to compete with 1 million people than before. So job career change, and things like that. Mental health, suicidal is on the rise. There's domestic violence, and as well, families are breaking up or making up, or it's a time that it's a huge question mark, and definitely it's a very high number. And this is part 2 on making on this. Trying to have a 5-second moment and see if I have left something out. And the more I think about this, the more I, to see the negative effect upon, the one, it's very hard, in today's world. So that's part 2, and I don't think I will make a part 3 regards to this, but that's why I say with the welfare and as well with the government introducing, the welfare, and now is down, reduce the payment of the welfare for job seeking job keeper with the social welfare, social security, or Centrelink out there, if you like, you use that sort of wording. That's not the word that they, I think of this as a part 2 that you have to look in deeper. People are not willing to sacrifice their lifestyle, their livelihood, and as well downgraded, or perhaps they can't even sell their house, or sell their car and downgrade the things. It's not the best time ever. So, or you fear of mortgage, confiscate their house, or this and that. You just put too much burden, and I can't blame parents for this. I gotta blame, this pandemic, this virus has made a huge impact on everyone. Everyone's just, used to run businesses has gone down to getting welfare, and it's not fair, and they can't keep their business running where people are either afraid of going out or not spending much, or perhaps just using cards, where business just really solely rely on money or cash. And the other day I I often go to Subway to have my morning sub, 4-inch bacon and egg. And I spoke to I spoke to the workers and say, how popular it is nowadays in comparison ratio between walk-in payments, regardless if it's cash or card, versus Uber Eats or Menulog or DoorDash or whatever you guys call these sort of brands. What is the ratio? And he's been telling me if there's 20 online, a delivery order, there will be 20 people who come into store and pay the cash or use their payments traditional way on buying their food, for their meal. And, they've been telling me, for as a franchisee, they're losing money because 30% goes towards to paying all these Uber Eats and things like that. And 5% or 3% extra or 2% goes towards to the franchise as well. So owners and franchisees, they are struggling. They are struggling right now. So this is a new world that we're in right now, where online food purchase is a lot more popular. And so it's nearly taking over than those who walk in to buy their meals. You can't even believe that. So that's why I say, is this a working nation or a home nation where things has changed dramatically, where now people are not going out, spending out more and using the welfare paychecks and going out and spend as much as they want, or barely surviving, in the household. So you have that as well. So I don't know, mate. Like, it's tough.